Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a couple of Harlan County schools keep their doors closed to students as crews work to restore water to their community. And power crews across the state ask everyone still living in the dark to be patient as they work to restore power.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for waking up with us. It is almost 6:02 this morning. And for those of you just getting up and waking up, the Hazard campus of Hazard Community Technical College is opening at 11 a.m. today. All other campuses are on their regular schedules. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at that forecast this morning. Brandon, good morning to you.
Good morning. And we're starting the new hour, and it's going to be a situation where we're going to see temperatures continue to drop for a little while today. But we are seeing the moon on the Buffalo Mountain camera. So that's a nice little sight there this morning. Not too bad out there. We're going to continue to see a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day, but those temperatures are going to continue to drop as that front continues to sink. You can see basically where it's at on our temperature map. We've lost Manchester now. So Hazard's been out for a little while. Manchester now taking a little bit of a break. One of our Southwest Virginia sensors was there a little bit earlier, but 54 now, Pikeville 53, Prestonsburg, Jackson, London, now 50 in Irvin, 46 Moorhead, 47 Ashland, 47 Lexington, 50 in Monticello. So those temperatures continue to drop as that cold front presses through our region. I do think we'll get into the upper 40s for most locations by mid to late morning and then rebound a little bit by this afternoon. So it's going to be a normal day to a little extra. Take your jacket. Even if you're in the southeast counties, you think, oh, it's still fairly warm out here. No, it's not going to be that way all day. As you see on the next dozen hours donut forecast, well, you're going to see that temperatures are going to continue to fall for a little bit, then stabilize and try to slowly climb again as we see some late day sunshine. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Water crews in Harlan County worked into the night after a city's water system shut down. Our Keaton Hall talked with the county's judge executive about the situation.
On Monday, the entire Everts water system went offline after their only working service pump broke.
It's a pump in the actual treatment plant that sends water out to the rest of the system, both inside the city of Everts and the Black Mountain Utility District customers.
City officials had already been waiting months for the parts needed to fix their first pump.
The pump supplier for the city has had difficulty in providing the necessary parts to fix the pump that's been down, and the city is now exploring, I think, other opportunities.
The outage forced Black Mountain and Everts elementary schools to close for the day.
It's a series of unfortunate events. And the citizens get sick and tired of hearing excuses, and I completely understand that. I'm as frustrated as they are.
The city of Everts is no stranger to water outages. Last fall, pipe leaks and low tank levels left hundreds without water. And during December's cold snap, pipes froze and cracked, straining the system again.
They need a new water treatment plant. That's probably about a $6 million project. That type of money just don't fall out of the sky. They've applied for funding. They applied for funding last year and didn't get it.
Crews have been doing what they can in the meantime, sealing pipes and fixing a well issue.
So they had to rehab an existing well and put in a new pump. They just done that and got that fixed last week.
But for now, school has already been canceled for Tuesday at Everts and Black Mountain Elementaries. In Harlan County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Everts water officials say they have received the piece necessary to fix the pump and hope to have water service restored soon. After strong winds rolled across the Commonwealth, thousands of people in southern Kentucky are still without power. The Blaston County Judge Executive issued a state of emergency after high winds caused damage throughout the county and knocked down almost 100 power poles. Officials with South Kentucky RECC say the worst power outages occurred in Pulaski County, and it has been all hands on deck to get the lights back on.
16-hour shifts, but we've had crews working around the clock. Somebody's out there all the time. They work 16 hours, they take their 8 off, and then they're right back at it.
Utility crews say it could be several more days before all of the service is restored. About 65,000 customers are still without power across the state. It was more than 500,000 Friday night. Other power companies are working to restore power across the state. Kentucky Utilities is asking for patience as crews work to restore power. And those crews say at first it took time to clear lines and assess damage, but now they're working to restore lines.
In a storm situation, we may have broken poles and wires that are down. that can present a hazard to folks. And so we make sure we get those cleaned up and clear first.
Power is expected to be restored to hospitals, police station, and fire stations first. Next, critical commercial and industrial sites will be restored, followed by private homes and non-critical commercial and industrial sites. Monday marked 3 years since Kentucky reported its first case of COVID-19. The first case was reported in Cynthiana. Since then, more than 18,000 Kentuckians have died from COVID-19. In a post, Governor Andy Beshear says the anniversary was about remembering those we have lost and the sacrifices so many people have made throughout the pandemic.
Sadly, we've lost more than 18,000 Kentuckians, and while that's significantly less than what the experts projected, it's still heartbreaking. Those are 18,000 children of God, loved by so many, irreplaceable to their families and to their communities. But thanks to the sacrifices made by every single Kentuckian, as well as the safe and effective vaccines, we have reached a much better place in this battle.
There are more than 4,700 new cases of COVID-19 across Kentucky in the latest update and 36 new deaths. The governor shared some economic news yesterday. He says Kentucky set the lowest annual unemployment rate in the state history for 2022 at 3.9%. The governor adds this is the lowest rate seen since the Bureau of Labor Statistics began reporting state unemployment in 1976. Across the country, the unemployment rate decreased to 3.6% in 2022. That is down from 5.3% in 2021. Well, the first attack ad of the 2023 governor's race has hit the air as Republicans fight it out in a crowded primary. A group with ties to former UN Ambassador Kelly Knight Craft is spending $600,000 to run the spot that goes after Attorney General Daniel Cameron. It refers to Cameron as a teddy bear for not joining a lawsuit that challenges the Biden administration on its Mexican border wall policy. Cameron responded saying it's flattering to be attacked, saying it shows the strength of his lead. He also notes he got former President Donald Trump's endorsement, even though Knight Craft served in his administration. State Representative Layman Swan and Kentucky tenants gathered yesterday morning to talk about House Bill 437. Well, he says the bill would end housing discrimination and would stop landlords from refusing to accept forms of government assistance and child support as viable sources of income. He says source of income discrimination affects renters of color, women, and people living with disabilities the most. And he says this is a problem across the state.
Source of income laws open up a higher opportunity in lower poverty neighborhoods and also support strong health, educational, and economic benefits for families with children.
Well, the representative says other forms of discrimination like immigration status and credit score need to be addressed as well. The bill has not been assigned to a committee yet.
Coming up on 6:10, we're going to continue to see those temperatures drop as we head into the daytime hours as a cold front makes its trek through the region. Already in the 40s up north, close to the 40s there in Irvin, dropping fast there in places like London, Jackson, Prestonsburg, even Logan, who was sitting close to 60 earlier, and even down to 54 in Wise. We only have 160-degree plus temperature left. That's in Harlan there at 63. Look at the difference in the northern counties. 4 degrees warmer after being basically 0 degrees, same temperature they were yesterday, but you see not getting into the colder temperatures yet, but I'm sure as the morning goes on and we looked at this map again, we would start to see some minus signs in front of those temperatures there because it got warmer yesterday morning. Today it's going to get cooler, still 20 degrees warmer in some spots than yesterday morning or today than it was yesterday morning. Temperatures will continue to drop. We'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine today, but by this afternoon, if we can get the sunshine back out, I do believe we could rebound into the low 50s. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Well, coming up, the FBI offers a reward for the return of a group of Americans who were kidnapped just across the southern border. Stay with us. Coming back.